guys, it's Annie. So if you've been to my channel before, you can probably tell that this is a very different background. So I'm just trying out something new. I wanted to go for a more minimal, effortless, chill kind of background and vibe. I just felt like my old filming background, I was just trying too hard. So let me know what you guys think of this background. If you like it, if I should go back to the old one, let me know what you think. I also want to take a few short, quick seconds to say a massive thank you to Annie Long and Colette Johnson, who are two YouTubers I absolutely adore. They gave me a huge shout out in their video yesterday about YouTubers who are bringing diversity to the platform, and that was a huge compliment and just something so amazing to hear from other content creators. So I just want to say a huge thank you to them for that, and also a huge thank you to you guys who came from that video and subscribed. I've gotten about 250 new subscribers from that video alone, and as I speak, there's more coming. So I just wanted to say a huge, massive thank you for that, and welcome to those of you who are new. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite tips, tricks, and methods for decluttering and organizing your phone. Because let's be honest, we spend hours and hours and hours a day on our devices, and a lot of the time let them get cluttered and don't do too much about it. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys basically a few of the things I do to keep things fresh and organized. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's jump right into it. So one of the very first things I suggest doing is to figure out sort of like an organization system for your phone. So whether your thing is having all of your apps color coordinated or having everything in folders or whatever your jam is, just basically figure out a system to organize all of your apps so that they're not constantly like getting lost and you don't have apps that you forget you have. Just like a system that lets you organize everything in a way that you remember where everything is and it's easily reachable and obtainable. My second method of organization is something more like up to preference. So if you swipe over on the new iOS, you have the widgets bar. So some people love to have this thing like full of widgets. I do not. I completely miss the old iOS where you would just kind of like swipe through it. It was like endless pages of clear space. So I went ahead and took out all of the widgets. I think personally for me, it looks a lot more clean and decluttered than having like endless rows of widgets. So that is just a personal preference of mine that helps my phone look more decluttered and not full of used space. Third thing I do a lot of daily to keep my phone decluttered is take care of the notifications tab. So if you pull down the notifications tab on your phone, there are a ton of notifications. And to me, that just looks very messy and cluttered. So a few times a day, I just go in here and clear out the entire notifications section so that when I pull down the tab, it's so much cleaner and the phone just physically looks cleaner. So that's one thing I do pretty much like 2 or 3 times a day just so it looks a lot cleaner. Another thing I do quite religiously is taking care of the badges. So you know those little like annoying red bubbles on your apps that tell you like how many unread messages or notifications you have? Yeah, those drive me crazy. I left them on for the purpose of this video just so you could see what I'm talking about, but these little red bubble things, they are productivity killers. I use my phone for work and business purposes like all the time, and if I go into my phone to write an email or set a reminder or something and I see notifications from like Instagram or YouTube or whatever else, I will go right ahead and take care of all those notifications and then forget what I came onto the phone to do in the first place. So I just basically go into the settings on my phone, go to the notification section and turn the badges off of everything because it just looks so messy and it's a total productivity killer. So again, up to personal preference, but I hate seeing that and it looks so much cleaner with nothing on the apps. So next thing is photos. So I don't know about you guys, but I love taking pictures to the point that my phone's photo library is usually full of pictures and videos. But besides applications on your phone, photos and videos takes up the most storage. And even though I have a decent amount of storage on my phone, I would still like to use it for other purposes, and having lots of unorganized photos is very cluttering for your phone. So what I do is in my Photos app, I have like 5-ish pictures that are stable pictures that I have to have there for like business or whatever other purposes. And besides that, I downloaded a secondary app on my phone called Google Drive, where I just basically made folders for all different categories. and whenever I have new pictures on my phone, I just transfer them to Google Drive and then delete them off of my phone so that the photos section of my phone is a lot more decluttered. It does not have storage consistently being taken up, and it just feels so much more decluttered, clean, and organized when I look at it. So again, up to personal preference. Maybe you're somebody who likes to have a lot of pictures to look at constantly, but I prefer to save storage and keep it in a cloud, also for security purposes, because you never know when something could happen to your phone and then you lose all of your pictures, and I have a lot of like irreplaceable pictures. So also for security purposes, I prefer Google Drive to the original Photos app. Oh god, okay, message threads and call logs. So in my text messages, I text my YouTube group chat, my best friend, my parents, 2 or 3 other friends, my cousins, and that's about it. Besides that, everything else in my messages are like confirmation texts or like reminders for like my phone bill or like old threads from old group chats from like way back when. And I was today years old when I found out that those message threads actually take up storage on your phone. So what I do is towards the end of every month, I just basically go into my messages and I will delete all the threads that I am no longer using, and that usually brings it down to about 4 or 5 message threads and makes the messages look way cleaner on my phone. I also like to do the same thing in my phone app because there are like tons and tons and tons of like call logs or like missed calls or like past conversations, and again, those take up storage for absolutely no reason. So again, a few times a month, I go in there and take away all of my missed calls or call logs. The contacts purge. So I got my first phone in 2011. Over the years, I've had new phones and gotten different phones and upgrades or whatever, but I've always kept my same phone number. So in my contacts on every single new phone, I've accumulated phone numbers from like old group projects from school or old like sports coaches or people that I met while I was traveling, people that I do not talk to anymore. I went in to go call somebody a few weeks ago and realized that I had 457 contacts. I'm pretty sure I talk to no more than like 10 people on a regular basis, and the rest are for like occasional phone calls. So rule of thumb that I made for myself, if I have not spoken to somebody in over a year, I just took out the phone numbers because there's no point in having a phone number from somebody I knew like 5 years ago that I don't talk to anymore. So if you go through my contacts and go to the bottom, I have 29 contacts. 457 to 29 is quite the jump down, but it also looks a lot more decluttered and easier to find somebody when you want to call someone. So if I want to go call my aunt and her name is under an N and there's like 200 other people under the N, finding her contact is a lot more complicated, whereas if I have 29 people, she's a lot easier to find. So that is just one thing that's helping me to completely declutter and purge my contacts list and make everything else much easier to find. Similarly, a few times a month, I like to do an apps purge because I am totally that person who will keep a useless game on my phone that I don't play just in case I'm at the doctor's office in like a year and I want to play a game while I'm waiting. So yeah, no. So new rule of thumb I made for myself is if I have an app on my phone that I have not used in the last 3 months, it gets taken off my phone. And if it so happens that in the future I'm at the doctor's office and I need a game, I will download it at that time. Inbox zero. This is something I really needed to discipline myself on, but that is super extremely useful. So on my one Gmail app, I have 3 email addresses connected. I have my personal email, I have my work email, and I have the one tied to my business. So you can probably imagine that I get a lot of emails in one day that all just kind of accumulate. If you look at my Gmail app right now, I have 1,700 unread emails. Those are from the last 2 days alone. That's crazy. So I started to really discipline myself to go in there at least once a day, like in the morning or at night or something, and go through all of my emails so that they don't get to that ridiculous point of having 1,700 emails. So the ones that are important that I have to keep, like tracking numbers or business contacts or whatever, I keep in Gmail folders and everything else gets deleted. The goal is to have not a single email left in the inbox and to get it down to inbox 0. There is nothing else more pleasing to the eye than an empty email inbox. Maybe that makes me sound super old, but it just looks really pleasing to the eye. And speaking of pleasing to the eye, the 10th and last thing I like to do to spice up my phone a little bit is to add in a new wallpaper once or twice occasionally. Okay, who am I kidding? I change my lock screen picture literally every week. But if you're not like me and you're somebody who doesn't change it very often, then maybe consider a little change, try to spice it up a little bit, and you'd be surprised how clean and new and fresh it looks when you have a new wallpaper. So if you are somebody who doesn't tend to change your wallpaper very often, then maybe consider trying it because it actually does give it a whole new look. So that, you guys, is it for my video on how to declutter and organize your phone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful to you. If you did, give it a thumbs up and let me know down below which one of these tips was the most helpful to you. I love you guys all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!